TK, 10 stacks. This happened not that long ago, but it happened, and it's something that we gotta chop, dog. TK comes out and he says, yo, I know A. Reese is never gonna talk about it, but hey, I'm gonna say it anyway, you know? Check the date of when this song was done. And I looked at the date, and I think it was November 2022.
What's the truth? Like, we don't know.
That's the thing.
And I'm not insinuating that TK is not telling the truth or whatever. I'm sure there he is. He's got receipts.
Me, firstly, I find it all childish. Like, I think this whole thing is childish. Because I think a bunch of kids made some noise. And by a bunch of kids, I'm talking about Reese's fans. Like, and for
they're
me,
coming for you.
They can do whatever they like. Okay, never mind. It's crazy that the answers nobody had I found when searching for myself. Let's toast to victory. Pick up your glass, show me love for once. Welcome to Choppin It with Bhuda T. I am the Lord of the entire, the Lord of the every, the Lord of the absolutely every, the Lord of the absolutely entirely the entire, the Lord of every single thing entirely. And we're back yet again for a whole nother culture chop. Make some noise!
Make some noise in the back.
On today's episode,
bro.
Of course, with our main man, but we'll get to you. We know you, sir. Hello, hi.
Shout out.
With our fine young lady, a legend in the cards. Are you a legend at this point?
You know what? I will take it. I like that.
Spokenpriestess.
I love it. I love that. I've never been called a legend before, so I love that. Thank you.
Come on, I think you've earned it a little.
I have. I certainly have. So
you've served
I'm not mad at that.
Not too many people have served the game the way that you have.
Facts.
I feel.
Facts.
At least.
Facts.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. This is so fun. I'm so proud of you.
It makes me feel very cultural.
Really? To have me
that
here?
You're here. Yeah, it makes
it's crazy. The
official.
tables have turned. Now I'm the one on the other side. This is beautiful. This setup that you guys have got going is amazing. I was telling the guys when I came in, good, see, this is the shit we dreamed about 15 years ago. Now, you know, we have access to such platforms and we're making our own things. This is beautiful.
True.
Yeah.
French fry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, what's up? Yeah. The boys just turned 25, baby.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
It's your birthday.
It's crazy. Happy to be here, man.
You should have
Happy
played
belated birthday.
Central C and Dave. They have a 25th birthday song.
Okay, yeah. But
on their tape.
Dog, the energy is insane. Perfect day to have her here with us, dog. It's like combos are just communicating, bro.
Welcome back, Frenchie. I feel
It's
like
been
we
a
haven't
minute,
seen
dog.
you in a bit.
Yeah, the last time we did the Rashid
that was fire.
chop, that was fire.
That was
freaking fire, dog.
That was fire.
And yeah, we're about to make some history again.
Yeah.
We're about to go crazy.
Spoken, a bit of background on you.
On me.
For any chopper that may be...
It's like, who's this one now?
We'll use a tough word such as ignorant. Because you'd have to be, not to be up on, you know, who Spokenpriestess is. But let's get into a bit of background, of your stripes.
Spokenpriestess is a servant of the game, like you said. Acclaimed culture commentator, career builder.
Facts.
Artist. Support system.
Yeah, like she... Yo.
Yeah, I think I'll call myself a media and music aficionado and culture commentator. Those are best suited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done so many things in the game. So I think media and music aficionado, culture commentator sounds about right.
Yeah.
You've done a whole lot. You and I, we met, was it UJFM first time?
2010. Was it not at TUT?
Was it not UJ?
It might have been UJ.
Damn,
Yeah, I think
2010?
it was UJ. Nah, 2010.
Was I even born, dog? I'm just playing.
No, the first time we met, I was at
2010 I was
TUT.
still
It
on
was
season
Cash Time
school.
with Cash Time Live.
For real? So that's what, 2011?
Season Scoop. So that's 2011.
Yeah. Early 2011.
Yeah. So that was UJFM, 5FM days. Yeah.
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 So, damn, you went, so is that the first thing, radio?
Yes.
That's how it started for you?
Yes, that's how it started for
and
me.
it was always hip hop?
It was always hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, like I was writing for hip hop like crazy. I had the Drive Time show. I was always playing SA hip hop. Always getting the hip hop acts in for the interviews. Like I literally had a hip hop agenda.
How did you pull that off, actually?
I just did it.
Like, how did you manage to get everybody to come to your show?
I contacted them. You know, back then that's when Twitter was still kind of new and, you know, social media was we were still figuring it out. Facebook was a thing. Twitter had just started. So I'd DM them, I'd email, cell phone numbers, events, like anywhere I bump into the people, I connect and make the connections, get the people in. And that's how their relationships grew. So from those interviews and always trying to get people on, asking for their music, send me the album. There's a show, can I come? And that's just kind of how I became, you know, a spoken priestess to the people at least.
Who did you get close to first?
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Because we kind of all know you now.
I know, it's tricky.
So it's like, where did it start for you?
So the first interviews, memorable interviews, I remember Kuli Chana was one of them. Tear Gas was one of them. I had Jupe as well before the accident. Shishbra, I brought all the rappers in. The Cap City cast were also rappers that I was close with because I'm from Pretoria, so I was exposed to the scene with Abu Black Layers and P. Dot and them.
Are they
Flex
your
Boogie.
first co-sign? Oh yes, Flex Boogie. You were very close with. True.
Ginger Trill, my goodness, you know, I mean, I ran his campaign at some point when he
you
was.
worked with them at Cynism, no?
Yeah, I was his media liaison when on that first album, you know, plugging his music to like 30-something radio stations across the country, bro. Finding community radio stations I didn't know existed.
Are you the one who got him verified?
Yes, we are. We are the ones that got him verified.
He was the first verified rapper in South Africa. Don't ever play with that.
People were like, they know someone in Twitter. We're like, Johnny.
Oh, so you were putting in the groundwork for him, like.
Yeah. Tinism.com.
And he had
I was under that
1,000
label.
followers. That was crazy back
Can
in
I
that
tell you
time.
something about the game?
Yeah.
Sometimes you really need to know where to knock or where to look for some of these things.
Right.
Some of these things are right there. You look behind the system. How do I do this? People just don't ask or they don't look or they don't find the information and then you never know.
True.
Yeah.
Especially the artists. We kind of feel like just too cool to even check.
It's also like things must come to you guys. They must just fall on your lap. If they don't, then they don't exist. So Tinism.com is actually that label taught me how to look at the back of things. Like what's on the back end? How do you do this? How do you make this happen? You know, Tini was somebody that was always learning, teaching himself everything. And I kind of grew in that, like figuring things out. Like right now I'm figuring out how to put my mixes on Apple Music and stuff like the stuff that you have to figure out on your own if people don't teach it to you.
Was Tini like a mentor of sorts?
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
I would say that for me because he brought me in as, you know, somebody that he saw that was doing work, media work, PR work. I had connections. I was in the right spaces, and he identified that as somebody to have in the camp. And from then on, it was just us learning and figuring out, everybody bringing in their skill and contributing towards, you know, the
Tini,
big pot.
by the way, for everybody at home, is Kid Tini's older
Bigger
brother.
bro, yeah.
Correct.
Who had signed Ginger Trill and
Ayanda Gia at some
Ayanda
point.
Gia, oh, yes.
Kid Tini
At
as
some
well.
point,
Kid Tini,
was
of
on,
course.
Yeah.
And that was Tinism.com.
Tinism.com.
Yes,
Yo,
for
that
those who-
time was
Come
was
on.
such a good time
in Centurion.
in Centurion.
Yes, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I used to pull up out there a lot.
Man, I remember DTF Fridays. I thought about that day when we were at Moloko.
Crazy.
We Dev in the lanes.
That's
tell them.
crazy.
Please tell them what that is.
That's crazy. DTF was a party that I used to throw.
Okay.
We threw it at a couple places. We threw it at Moloko. We threw it at
Some
was
places
that
in
Coffee, I
Joburg.
think.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Jersey also. It was so the DTF stood for Deving the Lames, which
Devin the Lames Friday.
which you already know the league was knee deep
Yo.
at the
Yeah.
time, and it's
Deving
like
the
me.
Lames.
Me and Udlomo used to work super hands on with putting that together, which is the same way he does with Nkwari now, by the way. So he's the one who runs the crib Kwari.
I just love the growth and consistency. There's nothing as special as coming up with people, staying in the same place with them, and then moving on and growing into different paths with them. That's one thing I think I can appreciate about you and Udomo, and kind of like your family. You know, a lot of us have grown apart in the industry. We grow up, go into different spaces, and it's always lovely to see that, like, you and Dlomo and other people that are still have those relationships that they started with are still moving into a different future together. So that's amazing.
Fire. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Also,
I'm gonna be showering you all with compliments. If anybody has not told you anything good, this is what this
Here
episode
we
will
go.
be about.
Positive energy. Yeah.
That's fire.
So hold up.
Okay,
Was
go
was
ahead.
your first link up an interview or?
Yes.
Oh, it was an interview.
Her
It
and
most
I?
likely
Yes.
was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
That's
okay.
how I met a lot of people.
You did
Right.
Yeah.
my Simelane, was it a
EP,
listening?
the EP,
Yeah,
listening
the
session.
Listening party.
which was my first project after Cash Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you put me on radio when everybody was turning their backs on me.
And I did a listening session where you perform live and get
That
to
was
rap live
fire.
before radio was actually big on that.
Yeah.
Before that, you wouldn't have an artist come on radio to rap
Play
their
new songs
song.
also, because those were new songs.
Yeah. And we did that. And we had an audience on the other side of the glass box.
That was legendary. That was
Yeah,
fire.
breaking.
man, I'm an ideas machine.
Yo,
Like
we clap
I've got
some
a lot
hands
of
for
great
that,
ideas.
ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Yeah, you
I got a
did,
lot
like,
of great
some
ideas.
fire
I
stuff.
just I just wish that
Creative.
we had ways of getting into resources or tapping into support systems for the stuff that we do, because shit like that, we package it, we document it, we sell it to different radio stations, for example. It becomes a series, a sponsor comes on and we're gone, you know? But I guess it's all growth, and I guess this is where the industry is going to now. But yeah, back to that, I did Similani, it was coming out. And how could I not? So here's the thing about me, I stick with my people. Wherever I go, I will bring my people along all the time. I've done it everywhere. UJFM, 5FM, Kaya FM, Slickhorn Live, in advertising. If there's a way that I can always, this is very perfect for Zinga. How can we bring Zinga back in? You know? How can we get Frenchie on the campaign? You know, that's me. So I was never not gonna have you anywhere I went.
Yeah, you just reminded me also that when I was coming back as Zinga, I think rebrand. Yeah, I think I was
Yeah, the
already
rebrand, the
I think
first
you put me
rebrand.
on that red
I put
couch.
you on the red couch.
Yeah,
Yo,
on Slick on Life.
memories. That's actually how we met. But it wasn't an interview for me.
Yeah, that's how he made me.
Yeah, that's how I met her, but she did not meet me.
Yeah, you didn't introduce yourself.
She was like, nah, I'm only meeting you today. But like, so like I told you, I was there to meet Sia. We had our own meeting, and that office was freaking intimidating. Everybody
Sia
looked-
is slicker
Oh,
for
Sia is
everyone
slicker.
at home.
Yeah.
Sorry,
because
so yo.
Frenchie wants us.
dog.
Frenchie wants us to know
Didn't
that
he-
he knows the man.
Nah, like, didn't he change that slicker thing and say he now goes by Sia?
I'm fucking with you.
Sia,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
but I
Go
know what's
ahead.
up, I know
Go
what's
ahead.
up.
Shit on us.
So I had to meet Slicker. And everybody in the office was like busy doing their own thing or whatever. But as soon as I got there, the first person that welcomed me was her. Like, she was so kind, welcoming. Like, yo, are you okay? What do you need? All right, Slicker's gonna see you right now. Have a seat. You want anything to drink? And I'm starstruck that time. Like, yo, she's from the red couch, dog. You know what I mean? But I couldn't show it. I was just like, no, I'm good. Deep down inside, I was excited.
That's so sweet.
But yeah, that's how we met. And ever since that day, even online, the love has always been
For sure.
so hard. So yeah.
I've loved seeing you come into your voice.
Yeah.
I was just thinking right now, like when we're talking about the culture right now, I'm like, Frenchie, bring me up to date. What's been happening? You know, I like that. I enjoy seeing,
Yeah.
you know, people like yourself coming into the game, bringing a different perspective.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what I enjoy about seeing people like yourself and Uber Eats, who
Yeah.
I follow a lot on
Yeah.
Twitter, is just the fire you guys have, and the there's a certain bravery that I think
Yeah, we just
you know
talk
we
our
wouldn't
talk.
have had. Yeah, you just talk your talk,
Yeah.
and I enjoy that. I enjoy that thoroughly. So
Shout out.
yeah, this is beautiful.
That's fire. Frenchie, when are you bringing Uber Eats on the show?
She's welcome to the chop.
Come on, gotta do the culture
real.
because
Yeah.
she's culture.
Gotta
No?
wrap up the Women's Month with,
With her.
yeah, but I don't know how soon that's gonna be. You know
That would
what
be
I
a good
mean?
one.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. What made you leave Slicker on Life out there?
What made me leave? I think I wanted to grow. I think I'd reached my cap of Stick on Life. Yeah, I needed something different. I needed
What does
something
that mean?
different.
You had gotten bored out there. It was like,
No, I didn't get bored. I
Hey.
think the environment. So here's the thing about me. I live in places that I no longer feel happy at. And that happens everywhere. And I'm not saying I'm a job hopper, but it's like after some time when you're at a place, if you're at a place for too long, things get too comfortable, the environment gets too claustrophobic, it gets too familiar,
yeah.
and you want
Becomes
something
like
different.
being at home with your siblings. It's like,
Yeah,
you guys
because-
are annoying a bit.
Yes, I like that example. I like that example. It's like sometimes you just want to move on. I needed to move on. I'd been there for 3 years, bro. That's actually the longest I've been at any company ever.
Crazy.
Apart from UJFM, of course. That's actually the longest I've ever worked for anybody, 3 years. So I feel like I'd given it my all. And Slick on Life came at such a perfect time where it seemed like everything I'd been doing for the game led me to that moment or prepared me for that moment. That job was so easy.
That makes sense.
It was just so easy. See, I didn't have to worry about anything, literally. Whether it was an exclusive, whether it was an interview, he didn't have to give me anybody's numbers. I could just call up anyone, organize things, make it go.
Yeah, he had a good catch with you.
I won't lie.
That was like, oh, shit.
I won't lie. Also,
It kind of solidified Slick Out Life.
also the
Respectfully.
I think so too.
respectfully, the switch of Sick on Live had everything to do with me. You know, when I came on, the content, we put them into pillars. We created brackets. There was we started doing listening sessions. We started doing plug sessions for these guys, and we had on the ground. And there was
Going to the
different.
shows.
There was some sort of content calendar, going on there. Was a content plan going on there,
Shout
and
out.
we had daily updates. So of course, it goes without saying that my presence at Slick on Life made a huge difference to the platform.
Even as you say that actually reminds me of even how you ran your show on UJFM. Like, I think you were also the first person, I'm not even going to say one of the first people, the first person I saw tap into, like, African music.
Yes.
And playing it on our airwaves
Absolutely.
and bigging it up and like being clued up on this is such and such. They just put this out
Absolutely.
last day. I was like, how does this girl even know this shit? Like,
I'm a music geek. One thing about me,
Yeah.
I am a music
but
geek.
also your structure of the show was so on point. Like
That's
when I was there
me.
and watched you, I was like, damn. It's like, okay, at this time, 1:45, we're going to cross over to Africa, to Nigeria, where we talk about, and then it's like
I'm
seeing
a
you
content
run a show. I'm like,
queen.
yeah. That's
I like that.
fire.
I think in brackets, like I said, I really am an ideas generator, and I'm not tooting my own horn. It's my creativity runs in it's a movie. Everything has to be an experience for me, if you're listening to the show, like I said, stamp your passport, 16 bars in Africa.
Yeah.
We're going to check out Sakode in Ghana. You know what I mean?
Fucks with that.
Like, that's so
we're,
natural.
yeah,
We
you know
don't
what I'm
even
saying?
have that
Like,
right now.
we've got Zinger just dropped Similani. How are we going to play on that? You know, that's surname. It's the regeneration, it's the rebirth. You know, now we're getting introduced to the man. We're going to talk to him. Not only that, but he's going to give us the verses first ever heard on the station. You know, Similani performs. So for me, everything is always about how do I make it extra?
Yeah.
How do I
How do you
make it
present it in
magical?
such a
How
way?
do
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take it from just an interview, just a
Spice it up
song
a bit, you
from
know?
Ghana and make it? I guess I've always been an advertiser at heart. So yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
With all that included, you've lived it all up. Did your 20... Sorry, my sound guy is saying these people must not call me. Please do not call me.
Put it on D&D, my G.
When I
Airplane
am
mode. What's
shooting.
going on? Put it on D&D.
And he already shouted at me for putting it on here. I'm supposed to put it down
Put
here.
it on airplane mode.
So that even when someone calls. What was I saying? So you had this career where you are a part of a lot of people's careers and build, serve, and help and do all sorts of things. What's the turning point when you now become a DJ, which you've been for
4 years now.
4 years now?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what was the switch? What happened?
Like I said, a new challenge. It's 2018. I'm about to leave Slick On Live, or I'm leaving Slick On Live. Where to from here, you know? Am I going to go into a bigger media company? Am I going to go into TV production, radio? What do I do next? Because everything I've done has always relied on putting people on, has always relied on serving the game.
Yeah.
And now I actually can decide to do something I really want to do. I can decide to do something new. I was like, well, let me learn how to play music. The plan was actually not even to become an Afrobeats DJ. I was going to be a hip-hop DJ, to be honest. I mean, I'm a hip-hop head at the time. That's where my head is at. So obviously, I'm going to learn how to play hip-hop, you know, because, again, I have a passion for putting people on and just curating music. I never wanted to let go of being able to talk about music and actually put people on. I get to music school and I went to Pioneer DJ Institute. Shout out to them. Like, if you're a budding DJ, I don't know if they're still practicing, but check out Pioneer DJ Institute. They helped me out. My lecturer, Ray, he's no longer there, but dude, if you're watching this, I'll never forget you. You taught me a lot about how to use a CDJ.
Changed your life.
Yeah, he put me on big time. So went to learn how to, you know, play. And I ended up playing Afrobeats because it was easier to put a mix together with the Afrobeats music that I had, ironically enough. My hip-hop wasn't hlanganing. I think you know that hip-hop is my iukwa, and then you are there, and then like Nasty C's there. Like, the music is always, you know, the BPMs were not BPMing. And I was like, okay, in the meantime, while I try to figure this out, let me just practice with Abu Davido and Wizkid and them, and then I'll come back to the hip-hop thing.
What led you to that, though? Specifically, why Afrobeats?
But I love Afrobeats. So what a lot of people don't know is that I didn't start listening to Afrobeats because I'm an Afrobeats DJ. I'd been listening to Afrobeats concurrently with hip-hop. Like you said, I've always been into African hip-hop as well. So as much as I was paying attention to African hip-hop, I obviously caught on to what else was happening in the, you know, in the West African contemporary scene. So I'd always been in Afrobeat since 2013, as far back as 2013. That's when I bumped into Otiwa Savage and Wizkid and them. Ironically enough, Ntugza and I don't know if you remember Afrobiz charts.
Oh, yeah.
Ntugza had an African music
Afrobiz,
chart called Afrobiz charts.
Yeah.
And I was the one, you know, adjudicating the chart with him.
You worked with Ntugza
Which
also?
Ntugza is this?
Yes, Ntugza,
Cash
the
time
Ntugza, tear gas,
Tear gas?
yes,
Oh.
yes, that's my
Like,
big
which
bro.
Ntugza?
And I'm just
He's
making sure. Hey, dog.
The one and only.
What
Yeah.
other Ntugza?
Yeah.
Dog.
Magalwe, Naskaba Spicy. He's making sure.
Just making sure, you know what I mean?
Maybe there could be
fine,
another.
fine,
Is this
yeah.
the one that we know? The one that we know. So
Yeah,
I
that's
from
fine.
like that's 2013 already. So as the boom of hip hop was in 2014, 15, 16, I'm already on that Afrobeats vibe. In fact, I was on Trans Africa Radio as well, which is a strictly African radio station. So I didn't just pick up Afrobeats, like it's always been there, but hip hop was a priority.
You also said it earlier as you were ready to do for self.
Yes. Yes. For a change, what do I want to do? Do something
And
for myself.
cater to you.
Yeah, do something that I want to do that doesn't rely on serving people.
Yeah.
You know, I think I certainly emptied my cup in the hip hop industry, and I leave nothing. I have no regrets. I'm so happy about that.
So not to cut you off, but like,
Yeah.
so it didn't feel like a selfish move, you know, doing
Not
that
at
because you were so
all.
used to doing for people. Like, was it difficult coming to that point where it's like, okay, now it's time for me?
You know what? It wasn't even like I didn't even have to meditate and
Oh, yeah. Like, oh,
you
that
know,
nigga's gonna
the
think.
lo-fi is playing in the background and I'm moving into the next phase of my life. Nah,
Yeah.
it was just so organic. It was
Alright.
natural. I went to learn how to DJ. The aim was to play hip hop, so I was still gonna serve the game. And then I ended up playing Afro beats, and which for me was a sign to say, listen, go this way.
That's
you know,
not
sometimes
bad.
you just follow. I followed the music and it made sense. You know what? And I'm happy about that.
That's fire. I've seen you play at some exotic places. I'm just using exotic because my English is off right now.
Yeah,
But you've been around playing
I've been.
Afro beats.
Yeah, I've been.
Speak on that a little.
Biggest highlights is playing at the African Union Africa Day in Dubai at the Expo 2020.
What are you talking about?
Precisely that. Biggest stage of my life.
Crazy.
Sharing a stage with Fali Ipupa, Mafiki Zolo, Maji.
Damn.
Like, Mayo Kun. I got to play for Mayo Kun. I like,
That's crazy.
bro, you know? It's
Isn't
crazy.
it nuts? Like, with all the love and passion you had for hip hop, it didn't take you there. And then when you switched, it's
And then all of a sudden, you know.
like
It kinda
Afro beats
is.
took you there, showed you
It
more
kinda-
love than hip hop did, even though you served hip hop like with your heart and soul.
I hear you, but you know what? Here's the thing. I think, and you know, Mai has had this conversation before, or Mai and I have had this chat, is that people need to know that there are people that need to serve and there are people that need to work. We can't all be in front of the camera. We can't all take the fame. We can't all be on the mic. I knew my position in hip hop and I knew that it was to serve.
Serve.
I knew that it was to play the music.
Fire.
It was to play the songs. It was write about that. That is what I was doing. I was not trying to be famous
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I was really,
Just doing it out of love.
man, I was writing for the game,
Yo.
you know, and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
What I do think back on is I could have capitalized a bit more on my position in terms of leveraging the influence, whether be it podcasting, for example, or going into spaces that create my own properties off of the work that I am doing, you know? And you only see this in hindsight, but I have no regrets. I'm not even bitter or mad at all, you know? That's why I say my cup is empty. I left everything.
Yeah.
I left everything in the game.
I love
I'm good.
that. I love that you take some accountability for what you may not have been able to take
sure,
advantage of.
yeah.
That's fire. Because I've been in that position also where in hindsight I'm like, oh, I could have taken advantage
know.
of this and
Yeah.
that and that. And it's like, but if you wear it and you're like, okay, yeah, but that's on me, you know, that's
True.
and you don't put it on the world or blame the game or do whatever, then it's much healthier, and maybe that's why your other ventures were able to
Yeah.
blossom
Because here's the
in that
thing,
way.
we can't, the game's not going to look after you. Frenchie,
That's a
That's
sad
true.
reality.
the game is, my friend, you are
That's
the one
true.
that's entering.
Yeah.
Look out for yourself, bro. And I'm not saying be selfish, but I'm saying prioritize yourself, you know? Leverage your platform. Leverage your time in the spaces that you're at. You know, how else can I elevate this? Do your service. Once you're done with your service, what can I do for Frenchie? What brands can I talk to? You
Yeah.
know, what event can I start? I mean, you were talking about the slimes and the mega seed. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
have a certain audience and an influence with people. What can you do about that? You know what I'm saying? So, also, we were young. Young people, we're in our heads a lot, you know?
Facts.
Self-confidence issues, self-belief. Like, you don't even know if whatever step you want to take is right.
right
Who's
one,
going to
yeah.
support
Yeah.
you? You're seeking validation. So I think I just wanted to put my head down and put my hands into the work. I said, if I roll up my sleeves and work, no one's going to tell me anything. And nobody did, because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
No one can ever come and say, Spokenpriestess. Trust me, everywhere I've been, my job has always been done.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
either
fire.
that or get lost in the sauce. And I'd
Talk
rather
that
have
shit.
that than get lost in the sauce, you know?
That's fire. That's true.
Yeah.
Especially as somebody who got lost in the sauce once before.
And that's okay too. You learn.
You're better off. Yeah, I mean, I learned a
yeah.
lot, but more so on what you're saying now. I have a bit more of a perspective on that now. Like, it does hit different when you've worked for it. Like, and nobody can say
Yes,
shit to you.
yes.
It's like, yo, I rolled up my sleeves and got this. So, you know, I don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah, my name preludes me. A lot of people are like, "You're Spokenpriestess," and I'm like, what does that mean? But I realize that they know the name and not
Yeah.
necessarily the person. And that for me is more than enough. You know, I don't need any dabs. I don't need anything. Like, that's testament that my job is done.
Your 10,000 hours is
10,000 hours is solidified,
Solidified.
you know? I want to come back to you though, but let's continue. I want to ask you some questions. But
No, you can ask me right
let's
now.
talk. Let's double tap on that. Getting lost in the source. I mean, we were speaking earlier about, you know, your growth
I
and
knew
the
you was
platform.
gonna put me through it.
You said I must get right into
Go
it.
crazy, yeah.
You know, the platform and you considering that you don't think people want to hear about you or know about you. And I'm like, bro, you are fucking Zinga, no matter how you want to
And
see
that's
it or whatever.
true. I was walking with him in Brahm, and like we could barely stop for 2 minutes without people like wanting pictures.
And that's on purse. So what's your actual...
For real.
That's on purse.
Am I capping?
That's so burning.
That's on purse.
You know what I mean? Like, we was just every like 2 minutes.
That could
Oh my
not be
gosh,
on purpose.
smashy! And we're like, yo, it's crazy, because he's like too chilled about it, you know. And that's when we realized that, damn, this nigga still. I mean,
He's the Lord of...
he's still the Lord
What's
of the
your
G.
What's your grudge with the game? What's your grudge with
Yeah.
with rap and your experience and your career?
So for me, right, from the cash time pain came obviously resentment for the game. I felt done dirty. You know, I felt like I gave so much to the game, especially like with me. Like, I was, to this day, actually, it's like I'm the one nigga who's like really here when he says he's here. Like, I'm 100% here. You can tell that because there's so much of my personality in the game. That's how you can
Correct.
tell that
Yeah.
I'm fully here. If my personality can move that much, it's because of how much of it I'm putting in here. And to have been done like that made me feel like that hurt me, like super, super hurt me. So the resentment has turned that. You see the shit Frenchie's talking about, that whole
Yeah.
like
Makes
that,
it not worth it.
Yeah,
It
it
doesn't
turned it
even-
into shit that I
Okay.
hate. Like, I started hating that from like 2014.
You feel like it's disingenuous, or it's probably because you don't connect. You're like, doesn't mean anything to me.
I hated everything about it.
Okay.
I just hated the space. I hated being famous. I hated that people are coming up to me for this shit. I hate that they know me. I hate that they recognize. I just hated all of it. I was just
Yeah.
like, fuck this whole thing. I wish we hadn't done this. My life was perfectly fine without this shit. Like, I was cool as Usmash doing my thing. I was having a great time. These people brought me in this shit and then fucked me in the ass, and
But you know that's a lie,
and
though,
on
right?
camera too.
That's a lie. For
Go
you to
in
say
there.
that you were fine just being special. I mean, for just being an artist, dog. Let's be real. Like, just being an artist, you want to see the fruit of your art out there. Of course, it's unfortunate that things don't always go the way we want, but you know, I think
No, of
it
course.
would have been a different story if your experience was different. You know, I think.
I mean, everything I'm saying to you is I'm expressing the feelings that I felt at that time.
Correct. That
So
makes
these
sense.
are feelings that were.
I'm definitely
this
not
was the
invalidating
response
it.
of
I hear you.
what I was going through. That was my response at the time. So I'm obviously then trying to convince myself I didn't even need this
I
shit
hear
in the
you,
first
I hear
place.
you, I
You know,
hear you,
I
I
was
hear you.
doing
Yeah.
just fine without it.
I hear you.
Which, I mean, I get the perspective of why I would feel that way because I kind of lived a similar life without being a rapper. It's like I'm the popular guy, the girls like me, and I'm cool.
Yeah, true.
Like I kind of live like this already.
Okay.
It just was happening without all the super hate. The fame and the rap shit came with the super hate.
That's what nobody ever is prepared for.
Exactly. And that turned me into that personality that Smashes carried was a response to the hate. I had to be that asshole and put my ego on 100 because everybody was coming for me. So that was a defense, and that defense only then worked against me.
That sounds
So I was
unhealthy.
fucked regardless. So it's just like
That sounds so chaotic.
the whole thing was just a mess.
I
So
hear
that's why I
you.
walked away feeling like I really could have done without all of this entire thing that just happened here. As fun and as great as it was, I really would have, because now I'm super heartbroken and the whole nation is looking at me like I fell off. Like, what the hell is
I hear
happening?
you.
What did I do to deserve this?
I hear you.
It was a lot.
Sheesh,
So
I think
that's
it
what
goes
was.
without saying that music lovers are ruthless. Apart from the game itself, I think the common, the normal person, not in the entertainment industry or not privy of how this works, has no clue what it takes
Yeah,
to
you
create
would-
any of this, right? It goes without saying. So their perspective comes in with no reference of how long it took you to cook the song.
Absolutely no reference.
And I feel like artists need like a support. You know how we
Yeah.
have SADC, the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. I feel
Yeah.
like we need a SADC
Specifically for artists.
for
right?
music,
Creators.
for the entertainment
I think
industry.
I should be a speaker in that. 'Cause
You should.
I walked right through the fire
Right.
with
Damn.
that whole thing.
How do
I
you
know
how do you
exactly
get
how
up
it
from
goes.
there? How do you continue? This is like a past life. It's a shadow, but it's a very loud shadow. It's not something you can put at the back and just close in a trunk and move on.
Yeah.
Your pictures are everywhere. Your videos are everywhere. Your music is everywhere. Your fans are everywhere.
I thought I could actually.
You can't.
So that was my initial reaction.
Okay.
Was to, okay, I'm gonna switch this whole thing off and
Act like
just
it didn't
move on.
happen.
Yeah. So my whole thing was to try and defame myself. So that's why I stopped swagging out. I stopped like going out. I stopped clubbing. I stopped hanging out with famous people. I just stopped there. I just disconnected and just disappeared. I thought that only caused the conversation of, oh, so where is, I'm like, why are they looking for me?
Because they
Where
want
is
the
Smashes?
sauce.
Like, why are you looking for me? I'm
Yeah.
gone. Move on.
Yeah.
But so then eventually life catches up with you and you
Yeah.
realize that you've lost yourself. You are not yourself right now. And you've been running away from yourself. And then yourself calls you back to yourself. But that obviously initially is scary. That was another, there's so much that happens concurrently, but that was a whole nother journey that was tough. Like trying to figure a way to come back to this thing and still somehow carrying the resentment. So it's like I wanted and resented. Like I want to succeed at this thing, but I don't want to be famous.
You don't
I
like it.
can't have
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I succeed at this, I have to be famous, big, huge, and a star. And like I want to make successful music and not be a star. It's like which is why then that made me realize is probably where I am now in working in this journey and moving forward is I can't carry both. So I have to get rid of one.
You have
So
to pick one.
I've just recently rid myself of the resentment. So now I'm in a space where I'm okay if all that shit comes back because I'm over it. I'm over the hurt. It's okay. Not everybody's out to get me. I'm a grown man now. better at this, and I'll be fine.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. That is
Thank
beautiful.
you. You just put me on the chair right there.
As I should. You know what? There's no way that we're going to sit with microphones and I don't put anyone on a chair. Let's discuss that.
Yeah.
It's kind of my gift.
Made me give you a lot. Yeah.
But I'm really proud of you, and I think it was important for you to let that out and to speak on it because, like you said, where is Zinga? He's fallen off, or what is he doing? Where's the music? People tweet and say these things without any knowledge
They don't know
of the
what's going
human experience. I think people
Yeah.
forget that artists
Yeah.
are humans, and
Yeah.
we always overlook the human
Yeah.
experience. And what you've gone through is what somebody has got to gone through with starting over, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Having to walk away from what they love because it hurts so much, but they realize that they can't actually stay far away from it,
Yeah.
and they have to start. It's a lot.
You can't
So
be without what you love.
It's yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Man,
Let me turn the
shouts
mic
for
to
opening
Frenchie.
up, man. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let's. How does that
own
make you
it.
feel, bruh?
Yo, to be quiet,
Hearing all these,
I
all
mean,
this.
I'm always learning from Bhuda, and he hardly ever taps into that bag. So shout out to you for actually doing that. Just making
Word.
him talk a lot more about like what really happened and how it made him feel. Because he's always in
a tough guy.
He's Lord bag. You know what I'm trying to
he's a
say?
tough guy.
So for us, like
That's the best bag.
that's
of
the
all
best bag to
time.
be in. But like being vulnerable also, I think it helps a lot of us coming up in the game because we do understand that, okay, so our superheroes also had that like human moment, that experience where they were angry, where they felt like they want to be alone, they want nothing to do with this. And it reminds me that, damn, I'm not crazy after all, because I do have like periods where I just want to be alone. Like I recently disconnected from social media for about 2-3 months, I never wanted, I just wanted to let everything go. Nah, I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be on Insta. I don't want to be on Twitter. I just want to do my own thing. You understand? But I was thinking, am I losing myself? What's really going on? So hearing stuff like that from him reminds me that, it's actually part of it. And if he freaking fought all of that and found himself again, then that's something that I can do. And everyone else who's coming up in the game, that's what they can do too.
That's magic.
So, yeah.
What is the one thing you wish
That's
you knew
fire,
before you
Frenchie.
got into this thing?
The one thing that I wish I knew
Yeah.
before I got EO,
It's a fire question.
that's a fire question, actually. It's quite a lot that I wish I knew before.
Let it all out.
But
Let's
just
hear
like
it.
from the get-go, just be you.
Okay.
Yeah, from the get-go, just be you. And that comes down to everything. Like, just know how to talk. What do you want? Say what you want. What do you expect? Say what you expect. What don't you want to do? Say it there and there. Don't force yourself to fit in and try switching up here and there for whatever reasons. Because before we get into this, we are spectators first. So like you said, we don't really know what's going on.
You desire what looks amazing on
Yeah,
screen.
we just these are like, okay, cool. Keenan
Yeah.
looks like he's doing this. So I also
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
no one tells you that, that's just really how he is. And you can be you too. And if it's for you, you're gonna get there. So I just wish before all of this, I was just like the way I am. Like,
Someone had sat you down and be like, boy, let me this.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why some of these, I had a whole, when we met
Yeah.
at Slicker in Life, it was me getting into a mentorship program with Slicker. And I was young at that time. I think I probably didn't even have a beard at that time. If you remember, I don't know.
Cute.
You know what I mean? I was out there.
I'm sorry, it was 4 or 5 years ago.
tiny. I rocked up in a suit trying to impress him. And
Not
I didn't
the
even...
suit, Sana.
I'm telling you, bro. I rocked up in a suit, dog. I was out there ready, formal shoes and everything, thinking this is how I gotta, so that he sees that, okay, this kid is
This
not
guy
like
is
the
serious.
other kids. You
Yeah.
understand? He said I should be there at 9. I was there at 7:30, for example. You understand what I mean?
Hectic.
Frenchie.
That's probably why I was so kind, offering tea
You
and
understand?
everything.
She was probably thinking, this kid, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but I wish in that whole mentorship, whatever, with these OGs, this is what they sat us down and told us. Because I felt like, that's probably all I needed from all the OGs
The
I've been
honesty.
around. Yeah, just like, yo, friend, sit down, take that suit off, kid. Like, oh, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
But it was just more about work. Yeah, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. But like the human side, what's really going on that side? And I think that's what I wish.
If I could butt in right here.
Yeah, I just
Please?
wish I got that, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe that's my role moving
I just
forward.
want to say, lovely, well said.
Yo, shout
Very
out, dog.
fire. Firstly, you're right about the vulnerability bag. That's
bag.
that's a luxury bag. That's a luxury item. We should pull that bag out more often. That's very true. It's a very healthy thing to pull out. But and then also on what you're saying now, that's actually where most of the motivation to want to make this podcast for me comes from. It's like, I hope that we'll say some things that people are trying to hear out there.
Yeah.
People feel like they need to hear.
Yeah.
Like, as long as in the episode we said something somewhere, like in the hour and a half of yours that I'm gonna waste, I'm like gonna do some dumb shit. But somewhere in
that
there,
moment.
I hope we're gonna say something that you're gonna take
stick,
and like walk away
I love
with.
that.
And that's real.
And that's all that really is. Honestly,
Shout
the
out.
intention.
And it seems to be happening
It
right
is.
now. The episodes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
So-
It is. It is. Like
so
I
I
said
love
to you
that.
earlier, there's a comment I saw where someone was saying they otherwise wouldn't experience, some of these artists the way they're experiencing them through these conversations. So really, your input is important.
Shout out to
Thank
Bhuda T, man.
There's something I wanted to touch on when you were speaking
yeah.
about your mentorship with Slicker
Oh, yeah,
and how
yeah.
he was telling you about they give you the game, I think we also forget that these people are human. I remember when somebody was talking about mentorship, there's no mentorship in the, the Twitter rants. There's no mentorship in the game.
Yeah.
The OGs don't want to talk to
OGs
us.
don't care.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you guys don't understand that the OGs have also got their own things going on. They're in their own heads,
Yeah.
They're in their own heads about
Their
things.
own lives
and
are happening.
Their own lives are happening. So I guess we would disconnect with the humanity so much. We're so focused on the numbers, the game, the bag. And I think it just takes, for example, tapping into the vulnerability
Into the
bag.
vulnerability
Come on
bag.
now.
That's a whole
Come
new
on
bag.
now.
Tapping into the vulnerability
Yeah.
bag to just come back to the fact that, hey, man, we're all human. We're just all trying to work it out. And half of us don't even know what we're doing, but, some of it is coming together. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Fire.
Mike, back to you.
Yeah, I like having you here actually,
Yo,
because
I
then I get to take off and sit and
You know?
And not have to do a lot of the work. Don't get any ideas.
I mean,
I see,
get any
I see why
ideas.
Slicker was paying you.
No comments.
Frenchie,
yo.
hit
yeah.
us.
Oh,
us.
okay.
Hit us. Let's culture chop.
Let's
Let's
get into the
I
So-
think
what's
we
been
know
going
you
on?
now, ma'am, and you've
Yeah.
put us on the chair. Thank you. You've given us
My job is done.
juicy.
Yeah.
Half your job, because you have a lot, but
Yo.
you got in there. You got in
I
there.
feel like I'm in
Yo.
trouble.
Let's
Okay.
This is the part where she
hit
got
us.
into the
Put us on
spaces, the
game.
workshops. We didn't even tap into that.
Oh,
but yo,
yeah, you're right about
Yeah,
that.
this is your bag
Yeah.
too, by the way.
That's her bag.
Yeah.
Whew, a lot has been happening in the culture,
Yeah.
bro. Like I said, so I took like about two months off, if I'm not mistaken, whatever. I haven't really been, in the day-to-day happenings of the culture. But as soon as I got back, there's quite some interesting things that happened. So first, let's get into something exciting, which is the events space, right?
Okay.
I'm just so happy that right now, a lot of the hip-hop artists are giving us their own shows.
Yes.
This
Facts.
is something that we've
Agree.
been,
Love it.
as spectators, before we even got into the game, it's something that we've been asking for, begging for, like, yo, why don't you do your own show? Why don't you? Not really understanding the finances behind it, the marketing, the budget, whatever. But right now, it's crazy that all of this is happening. So we had KO, give us a show
At the hill.
at the Hill.
I'm so sad I missed that.
Yeah, sad too.
You should be.
I'm utterly gutted,
Hey,
but
yo,
I
and
was
by-
working.
And by the way, we got the new segment. Oh, not the segment, the new show. part of the network where you know, break
It's
that
a
down.
segment.
It's not a segment, but it's
a show.
an entire show
What?
under the
Yeah,
network.
yeah.
Check that
Showtime
out.
Chops. Yeah,
Showtime Chops.
Check out the
that out.
Showtime
Yeah.
Chops.
Love
We
that.
were at the Hill.
At the Hill, we had Questa give us his own show at Carnival City. That's in the
16th
East Strand,
bar.
where he's from, 16th Bar. We have Maglera, who's going back home. He's literally taking his fan base all around the country back to where it all started.
That's
Fire.
beautiful.
When is his show?
Is it going to be, I think, November, if I'm not mistaken?
Ooh, I cannot
Yeah,
miss
yeah.
that.
November, we have time.
If I'm
Yeah.
incorrect,
Maglera, can we
forgive
please
me,
do
man.
a Showtime Chop?
Let's do that. You know what I mean? And
Please.
we actually need to see that. Remember,
Yeah, yeah.
because like a lot of fans won't be able to make it, but like what you giving us now is so important, you know? We have MT who's coming with a show in Zone 6.
On the 9th of September.
DJ Clen this Friday, Zone 6. That's the viral.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The album, I think it's the launch party, if I'm not mistaken. And the lineup is looking great. We have 25K loyal to the plug.
When is that?
I think that's going to be next
We
month.
got a lot of
Guys,
Yeah,
what
venues just
Choppin
changed.
celebrating. Like,
You know?
let's work.
Fire.
And then
That's
let's
amazing.
not even talk about the Nasty C Caspanyoves tour.
yeah.
Let's not
The
talk
Throne.
about Reese Effect. I think that's gonna come back. So these artists are now giving us these shows, and it's part of the event side of hip hop or music, and I think that's so interesting. So I want to start this culture chop on the event side. First and foremost, how does that make you? Somebody who's been in the game, who's worked so hard for days like these to finally start, you know, becoming real for hip hop lovers, for music lovers. Both of you actually, how does that make you feel? But like, let's also tap deep into it. Like, what is a successful hip hop event? What goes into that? What's the marketing behind it? Expectation. You know, when you're hearing KO's gonna have a show, like, yo, you know, like, what is a successful KO show? Because that's a big brand, you know? So that's where I'd like to start. And then we're going to get into a bit of drama. I'm
Wait
going to
a
introduce
bit.
that a bit later.
Drama.
So let's get
I
into
don't
it.
like drama.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
It's about damn time. It's about damn time. Like, why not? Eh? You know, especially because, you know, we sat down for like 3 years, like we were so miserable. We didn't even know if we were going to be outside again. And I think now is the best time as an artist to have a show. You don't even have to be KO or Questa to do it. Like, if you have 100 people on your Twitter that are like, Mfanaga, Pina Ela.
Let's rock with the 100.
Bro.
Yeah.
I've always been advocating for artists doing their own shows, like little listening sessions, 20 Rand at the door, 50 Rand at the door. You don't have to be, you don't have to wait for the big stage or the moment to do it. And I think also the culture is driving that, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
How do you make an income? Like, I think digital streams
Yeah.
are not an entirely reliable,
enough,
income
right?
source, like $0.72 per
Yo.
stream. So,
Yeah.
that, what else? Best you can think about is something like, doing some social media work, influencer work, brand partnerships. That's even if you get like a flat fee outright on your agreement versus like a long-term agreement that says, over the past 3 months, we're going to be giving you 10K for blah, 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 whatever. Some of these deals are not the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then what else do you have? Maybe selling merch. Artists don't have their own properties anymore.
Yeah.
Artists don't sell merch. They don't sell anything apart from the music, which I think is actually backwards. Artists should be selling anything.
product.
Like, there's a
we don't even
T-shirt, here's a
sell our
cap,
own
here's a...
music.
You don't even sell your own music.
The
So,
label is selling our music.
Oh,
that's another chop.
A whole nother chop.
It's not a chop.
Speaking of products, sorry to
But-
cut you off.
Yeah.
Speaking of products, I'm actually rocking the A Reese
Okay,
merch.
come through, Slime.
Come on,
Yo,
Slime.
let's
Come
get
through,
it, young
Slime.
king.
Come on,
Baby
Slime.
boy has it. The boy doing things.
Come on,
since
Slime.
1997. Beware the underdog. So this is a
Do you want to get up
proper
and
hoodie.
show us the back?
I'm pretty sure I posted that on my timeline, yo. I posted, but like, yo, it's got the Aries tattoos. It's got Beware the Underdog
It's
at the back.
cute.
This is a
Oh
very
my,
dope
it's
product
cute.
coming from Aries. Make sure you get that merch. I think that's where they are distributing this unique piece. But they also got T-shirts as well. So if you're a slime and you actually want to support the boy,
Come on, Slime.
let's go get it. I
Come
got
on,
this from
Slimes.
Baby.
I want to get one too.
Merch culture. I love that. So,
Yeah.
we definitely need more of these.
Yeah.
Shout out
Uh-huh.
to the events.
We
Exciting.
need
Yeah.
Him to the boy merch.
we do.
I'm
How you
very
feeling?
political, so I would then take it to, is this Casper Nyovest influence? Are we all hailing him for this shows
one-man
that
show.
we are
The
talking
one-man
about?
show vibes.
Oh, hold on.
Is that, wait, are you referencing? Am I missing
Hey,
something?
get in my Megacy bag.
Uh-oh.
Let me get in that bag. Okay,
Frenchie's face changed
so
immediately.
nah. Let me let you finish.
Are we not?
Well,
Giving him,
give me more context. Are we talking about...
Just as the
The
guy who did the
influence.
dome. But like, he's the first guy to say, okay,
Yeah,
wanna go
sell out
do
a
my
place,
show. Yeah.
for sure. That's a tricky one. And I don't want to upset anyone with my answer, but I think shows have been done before. Artists have been doing shows. No one has ever filled up the Dome or filled up FNB Stadium like that. I think that's a different event. That's a movement.
Yeah, that's a concert.
Yeah, that's a whole
That's an
concert.
iconic, movement.
Yeah.
I think the caliber of the shows we're talking about are less grand, right?
Yeah.
So to say that we're attributing it to Casper's lead, I'm 50-50 on that. It could be
'Cause as-
both misleading and both correct.
as less grand as these are, none were happening before he did that, were they?
True.
Because no
But
one was saying, okay,
actually,
I'm going to
hang
step out
on.
and, was there somebody? Correct.
Hang
me
on.
if I'm
like
wrong.
launch
You are a
parties
good
or
one to
whatever.
speak because in your Catch Time Life days, Catch Time had a whole, what was that event called? The one that you had in September
the
the showdown.
Yeah.
That's what KO's at the Hill reminded me
But
of. I was
that's,
like, man,
that's not somebody's own show.
Okay.
Because it wasn't like a tear gas show. It
Yeah.
wasn't that
was
was an
just like a party.
event where they had hip hop acts.
All right.
in.
Okay, I
Something
hear you.
like
I hear
Back to
you.
the CD. And
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But,
exactly.
but the house guys have always been doing one-man shows, specifically Abu Shinza, the
Let's
Black
keep
Coffees.
it cultural.
Aibo, what do you mean cultural? Music is culture.
Oh, God.
Bro, let
Right.
me talk. This is music business. If we're talking music
Yeah,
business,
okay.
I understand that hip hop is a
Talk that
culture,
shit.
but hip hop does not exist in isolation.
Talk
It exists
that
in the
shit,
music industry, in the entertainment industry of South Africa, of the African continent, of the global network of the universe.
It gets smaller and smaller and smaller
It's
and
very
smaller.
short-sighted for us to want to isolate hip-hop when we're talking music
Yeah.
business, because then we're not going to grow. So shout out to Casper Nyovest for being Casper Nyovest is a pioneer. He's
Yep.
one guy that's not afraid to move the needle.
Yeah.
He will create a trend. He will
Yeah.
definitely be that guy that is going to pave a way for people. Let's also not
Give him more than he deserves.
No, I'm not going to say that. I fucking like Casper. No. That's not where that was going.
Not give him more.
No,
That's right, by the way.
That is absolutely not where that was going.
You're going to use more words to
Respectfully.
say the same thing.
No, not at all. That's actually not even the direction where I was
Okay,
going.
go
I wanted
crazy,
to say,
go crazy.
I wanted to say, let's not get into the thing of monopolizing things. Like, let's not make this is a Casper thing. This is an AKA thing. This is a, I don't know if that makes sense. This is
Which is why I called it political, because that's what hip hop does. You
Yeah,
know, that's what
yeah.
they do.
That's
these
I'm happy
blogs
with
and
that.
all
I'm
of that,
happy.
yeah.
I'm happy to be political, but I'm
Which
also
I'm happy that you're clarifying it that way, though. Also, because a lot of people only have that hip hop
Reference.
political perspective, and it's like then people have these type conversations that I'm bringing up,
Yeah.
and it's like people with a real perspective sit there and it's like, yo, what are you talking
How
about?
are you even thinking like that?
Yeah, I
There's
think
a
no. I
whole-
think definitely like artists do. Also, you must remember hip hop hasn't had a great past few years, if we're being honest, because it's been pit against Amapiano firstly, right?
Yeah.
Of which the Amapiano guys have been gigging and doing shows and having international tours, right? So what is hip hop doing now? Like, what are the artists doing to generate income, to do something for the culture? Like, I've seen so many people complain on Twitter, how guys, hip hop, dikaidi album, dikaidi, we miss going outside and hearing hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, this surgence of hip hop events is the people responding to say, hi bo, I'm Questa. I have a catalog, I can do
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah.
Hi bo, I'm KO,
His
you
show
know?
was crazy, by the way.
Yeah, so, I'm not
Both their
taking
shows were
anything
crazy.
away from Casper.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to have a conversation about, I'm not trying to have that conversation. I'm being real about the fact that it's about time. We've been needing to do it. In fact, why weren't hip hop artists
Doing this all
Yeah.
along.
one-man shows way earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which then comes back to you saying Casper's the guy to look at for him having done that.
I think I love what she said about even the 100 fans do it. I think, I think that's even more of a revolutionary move than the grandioso shows.
I know artists that
then
do that.
hip hop will be alive for
Again.
real.
Yeah, there'll be a
People don't have,
circuit.
people don't have to wait for the
That big
grandest
thing.
show
Yeah,
to step
yeah.
out.
I hear
It's
you,
like
I
then
hear
they'll
you, I hear
then
you.
we'll have things going on in
Yeah,
the
I
culture.
hear you.
Yo, shout out to Casper Newvest, actually. You
Of
know,
course.
fill up.
That's my
Definitely
goat.
Culture shifting.
Thank you, the Mega C.
Yeah. Moving on fast.
You so fucking
By the
shady.
way, I'm just playing. So, all right, cool. So we tapped into that. Just get into that bag. Like, it could be 50 fans, 100. You know, get to find out how do you sell tickets? How do you even book a venue? You know, all of the logistics behind setting that up. You'd actually find it might not be as hard as you think. I think, like
It
you
isn't.
said, yeah, people
It's
just
a
don't
lot of
really
work,
know where to look.
But it isn't. And
It's
you have to be
definitely
consistent.
as hard as you think.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Maybe like put in that
Putting
work.
together an event
Okay, yeah, okay. I feel you.
is as hard as you think.
I said it's a
niggas.
lot of work.
But at least get
but it's
outside and
not-
A
find
lot
out
of work
how
is
hard
hard,
it is.
guys.
I mean,
Yo,
yes.
Bhuda.
What is it?
Yo, Bhuda, what I'm saying is at
Is
least
it easy to do a lot of work?
nah, it's not easy. But
It's
what
not
I'm saying
easy,
is,
but it's not impossible. I think that's what he means. Like it's not
Yeah.
out of reach
And
for
also
you.
what I'm
It's hard.
saying-
And impossible.
and also what I'm
now.
saying is go outside and find out how it's done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't
And
just
try it.
in your mind say, yo,
And
this is
that's
gonna
where
be
I
hard.
was taking
Yeah.
it. Because I don't want you to I don't want you to soften the
It's
blow and
easy.
say, no, it's not that no, it's hard.
And then a
but
nigga does it. Like, yo,
you still
school
gotta go
French
do
fry,
it.
Bhuda T,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
said
yeah.
it's
Because
gonna
I
be
don't
easy.
like people saying, no, it's not that. Just
Yeah.
But
to
Yeah.
actually do it.
we didn't say that.
like
Nah,
what-
yeah.
We said it's a lot of work.
That's exactly what
It's
he
not
said.
impossible.
He said it's not that hard.
I said it might not be as hard as you think, but
and I said it's as hard
But
as
it's-
you think.
it's
I
hard.
hear
But
you.
like, yo, go outside and find out how
The
hard
point
it
is,
is.
don't sit home without not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
do
the
that.
point is
Yeah.
you should still do it.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
Do
Yeah.
the hard work.
Yeah, do the
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
work
All right,
for sure.
cool. Do
It's like when
hard work.
people ask about tats, like I'm not the person to say, no, it's not that painful. No, it's
No, it
painful.
is.
Painful.
Yes,
Oh, I
it's painful,
wouldn't
but
know.
You
still
sit
go
through
do it. Yeah, go do
yeah,
it
I
still.
hear you.
So shout out to 25K, MT, Maglera Doughboy. Shout out to the ones who've already
is
done
so
it.
exciting.
KO,
And
Questa.
hopefully we can broadcast at all
Who
these
else
shows,
has,
guys.
like, come up with a show this year?
LOTV, we
Damn.
would love to. Please
Crazy.
and thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, cool. So we're moving on from the
Keep
event.
moving,
We're
sir.
nice with it.
Yes.
Let's toss a bit of drama in it, right? So I get back on social media. First tweet I see, TK 10 stacks. This happened not that long ago, but it happened, and it's something that we gotta chop, dog. So
What happened?
cool.
Come on with it.
So let me take y'all back to February, right? So
Okay.
February, what happens is, man, I lost my coach. The industry lost the coach, you know, and we were now in a period of waiting. Like, okay, this album needs to come out. The track list needs to come out. Who's on this album? This is now his last album. You know. And now everyone else. So by everyone else, I mean people not in the industry, right? Because there were some people who got to interview him. People like Uber Eats, for example. I think even Uber Eats might have been the last person who interviewed AKA before he passed for Hype Magazine. I think that was the
Damn.
last interview he did. And that was literally a week before he passed away. You know what I mean? She got to know who's on the album and who's not on the album. And for whatever reason, you know? So all of these people that knew what's going on in the album were just waiting for the track list to come out so that we can all engage, right? So the track list finally comes out. And there we go. Somebody's not on this album, and that person is A-Reese, right? Now, me being an A-Reese fan, I was also upset, like, damn. Because what this means to me is, one, we're not going to get an AKA A-Reese collaboration. Two, we're not going to ever see them perform. Three, how the fuck is A-Reese not on an AKA? Like, how did they not have a song together? This is A-Reese, you know? So the conversations going on the timeline, these emotions flying, these all sorts
Yeah,
of
I did see
conversations.
that
Do you understand what I mean?
promotion,
And that's done. Months down the line, TK comes out and he says, yo, I know A-Reese is never going to talk about it, but hey, I'm going to say it anyway, you know? check the date of when this song was done. And I looked at the date, and I think it was November 2022. That was when Sponono was done.
Whoa.
And that is the song that has Java on it. I think, is O3 on Chopper on that? If I'm not mistaken,
031 is on,
and there's an A. Reese recorded verse there. And that's the picture that TK took. And he says that AKA's team did not reach out for the stems. So they were waiting for the team to reach out, and they also didn't say ish. And then, boom, there we go. The boy misses out on being on that album. Another
The
conversation.
team as in the label or?
So I'm not. So he just says AKA's team or
Okay.
AKA's camp, right, did not reach out for the stems. Everything was done. They just did not reach out. And he says this months later. Now this creates another.
Can you see Aya's face? I hope you can see it.
Yeah, I can see. He's you know.
Okay. Continue.
So here we go. Now another conversation starts, and now we have to revisit how it initially started, because the truth is, Aries was blamed. I was upset at him, you know, and then not just me, but like people would be like, yeah, plus he has this habit of not picking up his phone. It's obviously his fault that he's not on the album, you know. How the hell do you decline, you know, getting into studio with the GOAT? Like, who do you think you are? You understand what I mean? That's
that
what
I
was
did see
going
that
on.
chat.
And then right now we have a different version of events, right? So the chat continues like, oh, so it's actually AKA who left the boy out.
How long ago was this dropped?
The tweet?
Came
Yeah.
out with the album.
Man, like 3 weeks ago.
Wait, the
TK's tweet.
TK tweet.
Yeah, not long, bro.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, no, it's just a couple weeks ago.
That was
yeah.
just a couple of weeks
Just
ago. I
now.
was waiting for the chop so we can, but like, you
It's
know.
cultural.
It's cultural. And now we're going to get into, because we got Bhuda T, who's an artist, and he has collaborated with a big brand such as AKA, so he would know how all of these things work. And that's why I want to have this conversation with you. But, you know, how that made me feel again was like, damn, never mind the drama, right? As, was that the right move though, like from TK's side? For me, I would have preferred if this song still came out and if whatever that was not sorted out was communicated behind the scenes, you know, with the two teams, to at least release this song probably in future or whatever, because it's something that people really want. So I feel like that tweet may have now officially killed all sorts of, you know, whatever.
Possibility.
Conversations.
And even just the idea, Anjay, of the Mega C camp or AKA's camp, even considering releasing it in future, because I saw AKA's mom and dad in studio. I don't know what they were cooking. Maybe it's the deluxe. You never know. So you just really don't know what was in the works. So I think maybe I would have preferred, right? And this is just me being a fan. I'm not saying it's correct. Like, if they just communicated, like, yo, you niggas did not reach out to us, but we actually want to release this for the fans. How can we go about that? So now that tweet made it look like now it's a war between two camps. And I probably do understand. It's because when we were bashing A. Reese, AKA's team never said anything publicly. They let everyone finish A. Reese on the timeline. And I think that's what TK was pissed about. So he also went on the timeline with that energy, right? So that's where I stand with that. But I want to find out from you, Bhuda. But maybe before I get to you, firstly, how do you feel about like this whole chat? Is it unnecessary? Was it necessary? And then we can get into Bhuda T just telling us how the stems work, how AKA was as an artist when it comes to fetching what he wants, you know, from the artists he collaborates with. And then we're going to get our own idea of what may have happened, because we still all don't know.
I'm gobsmacked.
That's a lot of
at
words.
the whole thing, the whole conversation. It's definitely messy. I did see the conversation about, I saw the rah-rah about, oh, why is he not on the album? People arguing
Yeah.
about themselves. I missed TK's tweet. I haven't been active on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's so tricky because what's the truth? Like, we don't know.
Hey, that's the thing.
And I'm not insinuating that UTK is not telling the truth or whatever. I'm sure there he is. He's got receipts. I just wish there was a way that we could address things honestly and publicly. Like, maybe the team could have come out to say, this is what happened with the song. We realized that, you know, the Slimes have got complaints about Aries being left out of the
Yeah,
album. this is a conversation. But I think it's also difficult because the man of the moment, the man of the conversation is not present. So what is the
Right.
right thing to do? How do you honor relationships that somebody else had with other people? You can't possibly show up the way AKA would have showed up for or Aries or vice versa, you know? So you don't really, as onlookers, we don't really know what the thing is.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what kept the song back.
Yeah.
Why the team didn't hit them up for stems.
Yeah.
Did the team hit them up for stems and didn't get hold of them? Who's them?
Who's them?
Do you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
just think it's just, maybe as an artist you can let us know.
And before you hop on there, Bhuda, so
I just think there's a lot of murky waters on that discussion. It's difficult.
So AKA's team is like, yo, by the way, AKA himself made sure every verse made the album.
Oh,
Do
when was
with
that?
yourself what you do with that info what you want.
Was that during the
That was during the whole
debates?
thing. Yeah, I was
Okay.
catching up with what everyone
But that's
is saying.
precisely my point. It's like,
He knew
AKA
why
is gone.
Yeah,
Who, you know, it's very difficult to say,
yeah.
AKA, why is my verse not you
Not
know,
on,
you
yeah.
can't ask the man directly.
Yeah.
So what were the agreements that he personally had with other people?
Yeah,
What is the team privy of them?
yeah.
How far did what did the team pick up?
It's too much, this one.
it's tricky.
Bhuda
Why are
T,
you laughing?
you've worked with the
Tell us
Super
something
Mega,
we don't know,
right?
please.
You know how the brood worked.
It's my perspective.
Let's get it. What you say, my G?
Put us out of our misery.
I think it's hilarious because for me, I find it all childish. Like, I think this whole thing is childish. Because I think a bunch of kids made some noise, and by a bunch of kids, I'm talking about Reese's fans. Like, and
Oh,
for
they're
me,
coming for you.
they can do whatever they like. My thing is, I don't even know how this involves Mega C. It's not like the Mega C fans were the ones crying about, oh, damn,
It wasn't.
we're
that.
not going to get an Aries feature
Nah.
on the Mega album. It's like, for me, it's crazy for Aries' fan base to cry at... Who are they crying at for not having a Reese verse?
So let me give you
on
more context
Mega's
there,
album?
right? It was split. So a part of the fan base wanted that collaboration, right? And a part of them were like, yeah, screw it. We never needed that
Was it
collab anyway.
promised? Let's start there. Like,
Yeah,
did
'cause
That's my
AKA
thing.
and
AKA
Reese say we're
been
gonna-
saying
that.
Oh, okay.
He was
okay.
like, yo, me and Aries got a link.
Oh,
Yeah, I
we
think
in
I
the
got one
studio.
for...
Okay,
And then Aries is
okay.
like, yeah, I think I got a solid one for Keenan. So
Okay.
it was a thing. And then the build-up to Mass Country, where people were asking, like, yo, is Aries going to make the album? And he was like, yeah,
So I
me and
think
Aries
that's
got a
where the
link
problem
soon.
starts.
So they built that anticipation himself, the Super Mega, you understand? So fans
Did
were...
they lock it in, though? Did they say, yo, we got something coming for y'all?
Now they were
They
not
never
there.
said that.
Never said that.
Do you know what I
But
mean?
now,
It's difficult.
when the nigga's album drops without the nigga's verse,
Mm.
then his fans are whiling, saying, "Why don't we have a verse from the
Hmm.
nigga?" But who are you whiling at, and how are you whiling at Forbes' team? While at the boy. Ask the boy, why
But
don't
But
you
that's
have...
what
they
happened.
did. That is
initially,
what happened.
right?
Who are they whiling at?
So initially...
Are they blaming Forbes or
No.
So
the boy?
initially they blamed Reese to
Initially,
say, dude,
like,
you
it
didn't
was
show
like,
up.
yo,
Or
Reese,
they
how did you
eating
not?
Reese?
Initially, so this is like February. Like, how did you not make it? Like, he wanted to work with you. You probably didn't pick up your phone. This nigga, you understand? And then a part of the fan base was like, nah, leave Aries alone. Like, if they didn't work, they didn't work. What's your problem? You understand? And then months later, TK comes to say there is already a recorded Aries verse, which was done last year already. So why don't you niggas go ask his team why they didn't hit us up for the stems?
So they recorded the verse and didn't send it.
So he says the team didn't reach out, and we want to know, how does it work when working with Keenan Forbes? Must you niggas be sending ish? Does he come and collect it? Like, what happens there? So you've worked with him, and okay, probably the
I don't
energy is
think it's
different.
about working with Forbes.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I
energy
think-
is different with you guys anyway.
I
It was,
think
but
It sounds like a
I
communication
think just as
breakdown.
artists,
Yeah.
I think the communication broke down
Damn.
somewhere along the way, and
that was crazy.
for me, it's a bit of a weird space there in that sitch, because I think for even his own fans who risk to feel like, come on, you probably didn't answer your phone, and you know, it's because he's notorious for that. I mean, he raps about it himself. He's proud of that. Yo, I'm not picking up the phone on you niggas. I don't want to talk.
Come on,
I'm not
Bhuda T.
you niggas' friends. What?
Is he
What am I
lying?
coming on about?
I mean, Are you talking about the Meanwhile and Honeydew verse?
I'm talking about him. Just he's not only said it once. He's said this a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Or not? I'm not slam enough. I jam Reese. I listen to Reese. He says it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Says I don't want to hang out. I'm not answering the phone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You niggas can't reach me.
Yeah, it gives that energy, yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
So I think if there's a communication breakdown at any level, I would assume, this is an assumption. I don't know what happened. I don't even know why this is a conversation, because if the nigga's not on the thing, he's not on the thing. But okay, if we're talking about it, I would assume the communication broke down on the side that the communication always breaks down on. Firstly, because if Forbes wants you on his album, he wants you on his album. Like, Forbes makes his own albums. There's nobody making it for him. The people who are on there are who Forbes wants, and Forbes is gonna make that reach to say, yo, I want you on here, let's do something. Like, the people that I saw on the album are people who had told me wanted on the album. When I saw them, I was like, oh, dope. He got the people he wanted to work with. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't understand what you mean. So you guys recorded the verse and didn't send it? Why didn't you send the verse when you were there?
So that's another chat, yeah. So now he says, okay, so you
send
the
the verse, you're done.
My nigga. I am going crazy.
Do you think it's a good idea to get TK on the chop?
We have to.
Why not?
Talk about what? Sending the verse?
Nah.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we could. No.
Why
Send
not?
the verse, niggas. You recorded the verse. Send the verse.
Oh, man.
I don't get it. So
let's not do this
I think
again.
it's
also,
just
wait,
it's,
so
it's
I'll
just
call
weird.
you for the verse. You record the verse. I don't know that you've recorded the verse. I must call you for the
yo, are you
the
done
things.
with the verse, nigga? Or yo, that's crazy.
What?
I feel you.
You've done. You agreed to do the verse. You've done the verse.
My
Send
chat
the verse.
remains. We really
We don't know.
what
Asaz.
happened there.
We don't
We
know.
don't know what happened
But
there.
but
You're assuming
Forbes'
as well.
team
No,
doesn't
yeah.
have the verse. Yes.
I don't think they got the
do.
verse.
Because TK is taking a photo of the verse in his computer.
No, so
he
says,
still has the
he
verse.
says they didn't reach out for the stems.
Yeah.
So I don't know
But
if
they
they've
reached
heard
out
it,
to
but
say do the verse,
yeah, so they sent them the song.
and you
Oh,
guys
no.
did the verse. You
They
finished
did
the
it,
verse.
finished
then you
everything. They just didn't
send
reach
the
out for the
stems.
stems. Yeah. So I think TK was saying, "Yo, this is where you gotta discuss everything, royalty splits." I think he was saying something like
I
that.
was
But, hey, man,
laughing
don't talk.
there.
Okay.
So that was an interesting encounter that I had.
It sounds like a technicality,
Yeah, communication number one.
situation.
Yeah. So
that we're not privy of.
Yeah.
Singafakazi guys, we're singing.
But anyway, so
Yeah,
I mean, Aries got
Also
the
for me,
verse
it's
out.
like he's not on the album. That's cool.
And also, emotions were high as well, at that time. So, in February especially, a lot of things were said.
But also,
people were
none of this is coming from the Megacy.
Nah, Megacy doesn't give a damn. They just wanted
Megacy
AKA's
is jamming the album. They good.
Yeah. So now you
AKA's
have
people are happy.
Yeah, then you
everything's
have-
fine.
Yeah, they're good. Then you have some people that are obviously like, you would have wanted to hear Aries and AKA because Aries is not just like.
I'm not mad
any
at that.
other
I
artist.
hear
Anyway,
that too,
yeah.
but
I get that.
But for me, so
Yeah.
I'm saying this coming from a perspective of I've worked with Reese. I've got a relationship
Yeah.
with Reese, but I can't reach him all the time either.
Hey,
That's
but
cool.
see that record,
That's
though.
his thing. Like he's a person you can't reach. But I'm now saying it from his fans are on my ass about getting him on the chop. How am I going to get him on the chop? The man tells you on his music he doesn't pick up his phone.
Okay.
what's next,
Spoken
Frenchie?
Priestess.
But they want him on the thing. I can't get him
He's
on the
gonna
thing.
go on in this.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't
I'm
have
just putting it out there because
Nah, I
they
feel
might
I hear
think I
you.
don't want him on the
But
thing.
I hear you.
I want
I
him on
hear
the
you.
I
thing.
hear you. Got mad love
I
for
think it's an
No, Reese
unfortunate.
is the boy.
Yeah, nah, he
I
the
think it's
boy.
an unfortunate
It's just
turn of
unfortunate it didn't
events.
happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But this
Not
type of shit
unfortunate.
happens.
Everybody's fine.
This type of shit happens.
It's
Reese is
unfortunate
good.
that Forbes died. That's
no,
what's unfortunate.
yes, that's unfortunate. But I
Yes.
also think it's unfortunate that we're crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
Emotions
be
were
crying
high.
over
the,
spilled
the,
milk.
the album is dropped. The ship
Done.
has sailed.
It's over. The
It's
thing.
over.
Yeah, you know.
Emotions were high, but got mad love for Aries. All of that is just like emotional, whatever.
Yeah.
But we could. I think Aries is good. Whoever's that doesn't probably even give a damn. TK
I
also
don't
did what he
think
did.
Reese
Khulumela
cares
is
about
okay,
this.
spokesperson.
Oh, no.
Uyamkhulumela?
I'm just saying, like,
Oh, you think
but
he
on a
cares?
lighter note,
I don't know. Ngiyabuza uyamkhulumela
Hold up.
i-spokesperson yakhe angazi.
on a lighter note, still
Yes.
sticking to Aries. So I saw he was out in, I think he was out in New York.
Love Reese.
No. Like, since
No,
we're
go
talking
ahead,
about
go ahead, go
him,
ahead. My
since we're
bad.
talking about
No,
him,
now that sounds like delicious information.
and it was
What
a bit
he doing?
like, so now on a lighter note, like, yeah, he was in New York
Oh,
for
that
the
was
Hennessy. Hennessy was celebrating some. I think
Is it
was
not
one
the 50 years
the
of
50 years of
hip-hop
hip hop? Yeah, and Nas was doing his thing out there.
Amazing.
So yeah, he met Hit Boy,
That was fire.
other African rappers he was with, and I don't know if he met Nas himself, but he was there when he
Nas,
was
nigga.
performing. You know what I mean? And,
Nas.
yo, it's levels.
It's Nas, nigga.
Shout out to Nas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reese.
Shout
what
out
he's
to
doing.
Reese and the Slimes.
That's huge. And whatever he's got going on with Hennessy.
Nah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I
that
think-
was crazy.
I think that's
That's beautiful.
fire. Like,
That's fire.
That's a chop you should have brought up.
yeah, not the other fuck shit. I think Reese, I think those are the things we should focus on with Reese. I think his fan base makes
Yeah.
a whole lot of noise about things that are distracting from
Uh-huh.
what they should actually champion about
Yeah.
Reese. Just champion what Reese is doing, because
Shout
you're
out.
creating all
I
these
like
other
that.
like distractions,
I like
and
that.
then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
things that he actually does don't actually then get the recognition that they should, because there's so
I feel
much
you.
of the
I agree
fuck
with
shit
that
going on.
actually.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positive PR is a need.
So Aries did his thing with
But that
Hennessy.
was
This
dope.
is not the first time though that he's collaborated with Hennessy. So they did that. I think it was the African cipher, Hennessy cipher.
That was
I
dope
think
too.
it was in Nigeria, and he killed it. And I assume they have a long-term type of partnership or whatever, because they invited him out to New York for the 50 years of hip hop celebration. Nas was out there, Hit Boy. I saw him exchanging numbers with Hit Boy. So he's working on an album. You never know which type of producers are going to be involved if he's meeting up with people like that. So, yo, the boy doing things. Shout out
That
to
sounds
him.
And
promising.
already his fans were shouting at Hit Boy, ne? You better have some hit.
Really?
Yes.
Hectic.
Hey, yo, you know how it
Yo,
goes
we
down.
saw
my
this guy
goodness.
he was working with, and they never dropped. You better drop
wow.
here.
Okay. So,
Spokesperson, what do you have to say?
Yeah, slime.
whose spokesperson am I really today? Am I?
Anyone that you
Nah,
want
I
to
mean,
speak
I'm
on
happy
behalf
about
of.
that.
That's progressive. That's
Yeah.
progressive.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
happy about
fire.
that.
Shout out to
What
the
else you got for
slime.
us?
Yeah, let's get into. Whew. Damn.
Get in there.
More drama.
Yeah.
This
This one is messed up though.
Do you have anything fun?
This one needs to get tapped
Give
into.
us,
Okay,
give
let's
us,
tap
give
into
us.
it.
I'ma keep released something.
Oh, that was
yeah,
foul.
dog.
Hold on.
That was
What?
foul,
What happened?
nigga.
Hang on.
That was
Now
foul.
finish your headline there.
So I'ma keep released some merch. They
Okay.
released merch.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is a whole design. It's got AKA out there, you know, RIP, AKA, whatever. And boom, they put it up in these stores. They started selling. But word out there is, nah, they did not consult with the family first.
Okay.
And they
That's
started
problematic.
selling the merch. And then AKA's
That's
brother
crazy.
came out to say, yo, what the heck?
Like, how crazy
Okay,
is
no,
that?
that
You know?
that is not cool.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Yes, and this is respectfully, like, cause I'm a keep
Let's
fan.
get into
like,
that.
I'm a keep has supported me as a brand like ever since Cash Time shit.
Yeah,
but that is
actually.
Uh-huh.
super crazy. What is that? How
That
does
is
that even
weird.
happen?
Yo,
How does
Who
that
signed
happen?
that off? Who signed off the distribution?
That's
Who signed
what
off
we
the
need, yeah.
design?
okay, so one of the first people that we saw.
Did they put out a statement after?
I'ma keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put up some. Dog, that thing was trash. To be quite. I mean,
Respectfully,
there is
come on.
nah.
Okay.
Disrespectfully, bro, because they were fighting with me on the timeline.
Disrespectfully.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was telling them straight up that nah, you niggas are doing some bullshit.
I saw you going crazy
That's some
out there.
bullshit right there. You know, because you did not consult the family. You're already selling this thing. What is it for? And then they saying no in commemoration of AKA. Like, we just trying to raise awareness for justice. And it's like, oh, this is how we raise awareness now. That's crazy to
By
me.
Yeah, I think-
selling,
By
yeah.
selling, nah. And this is a
making
huge
money off
brand,
the
dog.
awareness.
This is I'ma keep. This is a brand that needs to be respected, you know. So when they're doing stuff like that, it's like, Come on.
Wait, are you saying they were not apologizing on the statement?
They only apologized after we put heat on them.
Yeah.
Had
I
it
saw
not been-
Nadia also was out there shooting.
Nadia K and no, so the
Going crazy.
so the Megacy had started, you know, like yo, this is crap. So from the Megacy already, we spoke to the brother, like yo, Steph, what's going on? You know, we see your IG story. What's really happening?
Yeah, so he's the one who kicked it off. Nah?
Yeah, he kicked it
his
off.
reaction.
Yeah, his reaction
No,
already.
that's
it was
a
a
big
big
no-no.
like yo eyebrow type of like raised eyebrow type of thing. Like yo, Steph, what's up?
And
Like,
apparently,
yo,
I'ma give reposted his.
they repost. Yeah, at first they thought it's a joke.
It's super wild.
They were being so cocky about the whole thing, and it was like, yo, are
That's
these guys for
wild.
real about this whole thing? Like, what's up? We've never seen you say nothing about justice for AKA.
They reposted
Next.
Steph being enraged.
You feel me? Like, who handles the social media out there? Like, all of these things must put out there. Like, what y'all
I mean-
did was uncool.
Yeah, no, that's
Not from you. I'm
that put a lump in my chest. Yeah, that's very
up and coming
disappointing.
merch,
Horrible.
whatever's, but not you niggas.
Just
Nasty
courtesy,
business.
man.
That's not dope.
Courtesy. Do the right thing. Do the
Yeah.
find outs. Get in touch.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's apart from tribute to AKA, it's using somebody's likeness is something that you just don't go ahead and run with and put for a profitable
Type of thing,
gain. It just
yeah.
doesn't work like that. I'm gonna take your picture and put it on my t-shirt and,
And this-
sell it.
and
Doesn't
this-
work like that. There's rights, there's likeness rights,
Yeah.
there's obviously his legacy. We
You
don't
know
know
what I mean?
what the family's doing with AKA's legacy and his name going forward.
Exactly.
If there are funds related to that. You know what I mean? Like there's so many it's not cool.
Yo, do better. And
Nasty business.
yeah, so let's
Nasty.
Not cool.
let's tap into the fun side now.
Okay.
Right, we've had some-
Hey, my goodness, thank you. Wow.
Thank you, Frenchie.
We've had some dope albums. Actually, okay, so we've had dope hip hop albums that have actually come out recently. So DJ Clan dropped Viral, the album.
Dope.
Yo, it's dope, right?
Dope
Got
records on
Frank
there.
Casino brought Frank Casino back. When last did you hear Frank
That
Casino?
Frank Casino verse was fire.
Yo!
I need to
Fire,
catch
I
up.
mean-
I need to catch up on my hip hop releases.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Afrobeats lady.
That's why I said I need to catch up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
So you got Frank Casino on that album. Ginger Trill is on that. I think there's a kid called K
Fire from Trill and
Trill and Touchline.
Trill and
Ooh, that
Touchline.
collab is burning up the
Also
Twitter
that
streets. I
collab,
saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Facts.
Boozy Lee's on that. Loyalty Nova Pound.
Congratulations.
Wait, shout out to
Clan.
whoever
This
decided
album-
on putting that together, actually.
This album is
The album?
making the pops.
Yeah, so Reese is,
Reese is the executive producer on that
producing
album.
there.
Yeah.
Well done,
Shout out
Reese.
to Reese. One more. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Well
dope
done.
hip hop album.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They put together.
Has he
put
done
that
a show
together
for?
well.
Oh, he's doing the show
So this is
soon.
what he's doing this Friday. If you've not,
Perfect. Yeah. Okay.
As in tomorrow?
yeah,
Sorry, we're so
tomorrow,
excited.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Damn.
Zone 6, by the way.
Oh shit.
So it's gonna be a huge party out there tomorrow.
Okay.
That
You going?
album. Yo,
You going?
I'm not really feeling like too good. So I'm gonna just support from the side.
From Twitter.
Yeah.
I
on
see
Twitter.
you.
But yeah, that album sounded really good.
Nah, that album is fire.
Seeing a DJ also come out with a fire album, it's been a minute.
That's
since
how
been
it's
a while
supposed
since
to
that happened,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, those DJ mixtapes.
Yo, dog.
That's clean, bro. Like,
You
bro,
doing
shout
the
out.
real
Like,
things,
that's
my
what
nigga.
we
Yeah,
need.
nah, fire.
That's
Yeah,
what the
and then-
game needs.
And then Bhuda, I don't know if you heard of Words the Words the Prince album.
Oh yeah, the words
Ooh,
album.
people
yeah,
forget
yeah.
to be people.
Yeah.
You got to check
That's
that
been
out.
the most
need to catch up.
well received album thus far
Currently,
this
right?
year, no?
Aside from Mas
Aside
Country.
from?
Mas Country.
Of course,
Okay, cool.
of course,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course.
I'm just making sure.
You gotta
Yo,
make sure, bro.
Excuse
what's
us,
that
make
meme
us
you always
see.
hook up?
Gotta double check.
Excuse us, make us see.
All right, cool.
Double check.
Yeah, so the boy Words, man, he's so. Do you know a bit
Fire.
about Words? Can
I actually
can
know
tell
the
you?
name, yeah.
So yeah, okay, damn. I don't want to make it sound like it's all about Reese Spots. He was in the crew with him.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, and then now he's a solo
I know
artist.
that much.
All right, dope. Oh, then we lit.
I just haven't heard the album.
All right, then we lit.
Just wanted to say Reese's name again.
Then we
I
lit,
think
you
so.
know.
Yeah.
Nah, guys. I mean, but anyway, so this is he's like I think he's
Sophomore?
yeah, sophomore. Yeah, because this is his second album.
Sophomore.
And is it sophomore?
Yes.
Sophomore,
shit.
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
Sophomore, there's an O before the more. Sophomore.
But that's the Buddha
It's a
language.
sophomore. Please.
More. It features Sato Soul. There's a lot of production by Mash Beats.
Beautiful.
You know,
Maglera's on there
Maglera's
too.
on it. Flo Jones on it.
Flows on
Yeah,
there,
I
fire.
think it's a lovely body of
It
work.
sounds colourful.
Solid project.
But just him coming outside and doing quite a lot. He's made like the Hype magazine cover. He's been on a couple of playlist covers like Apple Music, on Spotify, and he's doing a lot of, just PR press running. And this is something that he hasn't really been doing a lot, right?
All independent.
So he's all independent. I think he's managed by Clint. That's the same person that like manages Mash Beats.
Okay.
And
Fire.
speaking of Mash, these people are doing well. These people are doing
Spanning.
yeah, they're working.
Guys.
You know what I mean?
Spanning.
So shout out to Words.
Is Mesh executive producer or what?
I mean, I wouldn't know if he's executive producer, but what I do know is that he's had his hand on the beats side of things. A lot of like the beats on that project.
Solid work from Words, definitely.
Ooh, solid, bro.
I need
Super
to hear
solid.
that.
Contender
Even
for
the
whatever awards we
reception has
got.
been super solid. I'm happy for him for that. Like,
Yeah,
that's dope.
love
Yeah.
To
that.
see people embrace him on that level.
yeah. So,
Fire.
fire there from Words the Prince. Keep doing your thing.
The Flo Jones project, did you jam that?
Oh, yeah,
you just
we were-
brought Flo Jones up, yeah.
Yeah, we remember we jammed
We went
that.
to his
yeah, we
handle.
went to the
Did you
to the
jam it
listening
after
party.
that? Keep it a B.
I was about to say, be honest. Be honest.
Nah, not the way I jam albums. Like I haven't sat and
Okay.
replayed it after that. But I
Tap
do
into
remember
it.
at the listening session there was this scoring like with the sheet where we had to rate every song.
Yeah, at Cheeky's, at
Yeah,
Aya's place
And
there in Brum.
Shout out to Aya. Yo, the spot is called Cheeky's in
Yeah,
Brum, by the
Cheeky's
way.
in
If you're
Brum,
looking for
don't
a
get
good
it
time,
twisted.
if you're looking for a good time, make sure you do the right thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, and I remember giving like a lot of 9s, 10s. Like I really enjoyed just how it made me feel and just the live, element of that album. Like just seeing him go off live and hearing it and shout out to Slick because he executive produced the album.
Yeah.
It sounded
And he
great.
has a verse in the
And
album.
he has a verse on the
Slick
album.
has a verse.
He's got a
Okay.
whole
Yeah.
verse. So yeah, shout out to Flo Jones on that and thanks for bringing him up, Bhuda T. So as far as projects are concerned, off top, these are what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then
There's no other? Nobody
Albums.
else? Didn't the Bloom niggas? Can't you, shit. Respectfully, yes.
Stino
Litwini.
Stino Litwini
Yeah,
also
they
dropped.
put out an album, no?
Yeah. They put out
I haven't
they
gotten the
did.
time to jam that either, but I will.
Have you? Oh, you
I'm
haven't
planning
been checking
to.
hip hop out a lot.
She's an Afrobeats lady.
She's an
this
Afrobeats lady. So yeah, but
I'm
there's
not
a,
going to sit here and pretend. I know
Yeah.
the names. I haven't
there's a
listened.
crazy lead single there. It's got Maglera Dope Boy on
Yeah,
it.
that was fire.
Whew.
And then they put out a dope joint also with Nadia. I saw that also. I
But-
think that was just before
You guys
they
are
put
going to
out
make
the
me
album.
listen to
Yeah,
all
you
of
have to
this.
come
I'm
back.
going
Come
to
on.
listen.
And
Yeah,
also,
come back to the culture.
just speaking on that, I
Uh-huh.
wanna
I thought you said come back to the top, not the culture.
No. It's just
Asking a lot.
she's still out there.
Asking a lot.
But what did I want to say? I wanted to give SOL Distro a shout out.
Okay.
Yeah, SOL Distro. So that's Slick on live distribution, whatever. They got Stino Litwini. They're out there.
Oh, fire.
Oh shit! Actually, I know something.
Yeah.
They also dropped Musanki. There's an artist from Pretoria called
Uh-huh.
Musanki who dropped his album through SOL
SOL
Distro.
Distro, Touchline, dropped something.
I listened to
there.
that at least. I enjoyed
Sandra's
that.
out there. There's an artist called Scummy. She's a young lady coming up, really.
All under the distro label.
All under the distro. Who else there? Sandra I just mentioned.
Shout out to
I think
Slicker. He's
K
doing
Key, if I'm
big
not
business.
mistaken. But they really doing their thing, just helping these artists, get their music out there, get them out on playlists, and just assisting them with, things that artists need, rollouts and all of that type of stuff. So these are some of the elements in music and the culture and hip hop or whatever that are hardly ever spoken of, but this is what we do out here, and we just want to send a major shout out
Word.
to the work that they got going on. Actually, last week I was out at a listening session, but it was an R&B artist. Her name is Fenze. Bhuda, I gotta put you onto that album. It's
Yeah, we need to start fucking with
crazy.
the R&B niggas
We
too.
need to.
On,
we need
on
to. For real.
LOTV. On some level, we'll figure it out.
We gotta do that.
It's part of the culture too. It's music.
It is.
Music is culture.
Yeah,
Music is
facts.
culture.
Yeah.
And then how does Frenchie wrap up whatever's? So Nasty C had this. It's got a nice
Oh,
move.
Nasty C is becoming a father too. Can we congratulate Nasty C?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Shout out to
Young
Junior.
man's becoming
it's
a
always
man.
so beautiful.
Shout
That's
out
fire.
to Junior.
Yeah.
And with the lady we've always seen him with. That's admirable.
Oh,
That's-
Sammy. Right?
Congratulations to
That's
you all. That's
something
beautiful.
to say something about.
Yeah. Shout
That's
out
fire.
to congratulations, Nasty. So he's got this single, right? It's called Crazy. And I think he collaborated with Coke Studios just to add some activity around it. And artists have been hopping on, just like adding a young verse, Nyana, because he had this open slot.
Open verse challenge.
Open verse challenge.
Oh, I love those. Those are
Word,
always
right?
exciting.
Yeah, Tato Soul hopped on it, 25K. Maglera Dope Boy. Who else did I see on it? Ben September, Flame. It was a whole dope thing because Coke Studios had this event last week, Thursday as well. And Nasty was out there performing some tracks. And, people rocked up there just showing love. So that really got people talking. The blogs, the people that love hip hop, who were out there comparing who had a better one than the
who had
other.
the hottest
Yeah,
verse,
we're
yeah.
just doing
You
our
know
thing
the
out
hip
there.
hop way, the politique.
I love it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I love it for you guys. This chaos is beautiful. I love it.
It's needed,
go crazy.
It's really needed. What I do know is that on the 15th of September, he drops his album, and he happens to drop it on the same day as Casper Nyovest, Solomon.
I
Oh,
don't
they
know
dropping
why.
on the same day?
Same day.
That's
I
fire.
don't know why in my head I thought they would drop a joint album.
Oh, so they're doing a joint tour.
Yes, I know that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I thought
It's gonna also.
it would be they'd also do a joint, but I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we should be doing?
That's what
Joint
should be
tours?
happening.
Giants, like like a whole Nasty C and a whole Casper together. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's,
Yeah.
that's,
Super
that's
fire.
money moves, and you can then take that further than just South Africa, in my opinion.
Right, and we actually had a chop about that. So when you look at the bigger picture, that's how you speak and that's how you comment on that tour. When you look at the petty things, you're gonna be like Casper's riding Nasty C's wave.
You can't say that. Come on.
We're not vibrating on that.
Come on.
I was just like trying
Casper's
to
a
make you
legend.
understand.
Why did you look
can't-
sideways?
No, I mean just to
not
show you
riding
how upset I am
anyway.
about those type of conversations.
Those type of conversations are
Yeah,
childish,
but they
bro.
are conversations, that are happening. out
I
there,
hear
know
you.
what
I
mean?
think sometimes music fans, we need to get out over ourselves.
Yeah.
Things are not as personal as we take them.
Yeah.
Literally, these people are running businesses. Guys, there's no artist that goes into studio for vibes. Vibes don't pay the rent.
It's for the business.
We're
you know
trying to
what I mean?
move. We're trying to grow. We're trying to expand. We're trying to tour. We're trying to have merch.
Trying to do the most.
We're working. We're not here for personal vendettas and
That's
shit.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
think
right.
the better music lovers kind of, you don't have to understand the whole thing, but bring yourself into that understanding. And I swear you would really enjoy what's happening in the industry regardless without picking sides.
Didn't you say something about a flame tweet
Yes. What
regarding
happened?
those open verse
Yo,
challenges?
Buddha, bro, what's up, bro?
What's up with words? Kuruma
yeah,
like
like- Okay, so so what happened was
What happened?
some fan was just saying, I think the fan was saying that they enjoyed Flame's verse or they were shocked that Flame got on and he killed it or something like that. Yeah, and Flame said, like he got paid to do it or something, And
Wait, what do you
Yeah.
mean or something? What did Flame say? What did he say?
he just said they paid me to do it,
So what?
which is not a bad thing.
You
but
said he then deleted that tweet?
yeah, it's no longer out there.
Why is that a tweet to delete?
I don't know, bro. Like, but it was
Maybe
like
it was
worth
a breach of
conversating.
contract.
Or he wasn't supposed to say he got paid?
I
Maybe.
don't know. Do you think so?
Why would he delete it?
Yeah, no, because there was actually somebody last week that had seen. It was one of these artists. I forgot exactly who it was, but they saw like paid partnership with Coke Studios, and they were like, "Oh, is this like paid for or what?"
Oh, on Flames.
Not on Flame. This
okay.
was on. Yeah, it was just a separate conversation happening. And then today again, the same chat comes up with the Flame tweets and whatever. Look,
And you guys said you thought all these rappers were doing it organically.
Nah, we didn't
Because
say
they
that.
love the song.
nah, we didn't say that.
I didn't thought
That's what
that.
you
I
said.
mean,
Nah. I was. So what I did say on Twitter was I was just happy about that rollout. I mean, rollouts are paid for. If you can afford one. And
I wouldn't have thought that they
That they were being
paid the
paid.
people, but I would believe that they said, yo, Zinga, we're doing this, join the challenge. I think it's common with a lot of these rollouts, especially with
Yeah.
the TikTok and Instagram trending, content plans, is who can we get, who can we
Yeah.
leverage in our circle that can amplify the song.
I'd
So
definitely
Yeah, but
pay
that
all of
becomes-
those
how I-
niggas.
that I would
That
that's how I would
becomes
see it.
PR, and
Yeah.
that's paid for.
I'd pay, but like rollouts are
What do you
paid for,
mean?
bruh.
No. I hear you, but that's what I'm saying.
Even on Twitter, the niggas who tweet
So Zinga,
on your release days, they pay for them.
if Ubongi calls you and says, "Bro, I've got a open verse, jump on it on TikTok," you're gonna charge him for it.
Bongi is Kid X, by the way.
But-
That's who she's talking about.
Yeah, if Kid X says,
damn.
"Yo, I've got a open verse challenge on TikTok," you're gonna charge him for that.
No,
That's
but
my point.
But it's Coca-Cola. It's
No,
not
but
Messi.
I'm not. But that's my point is that I wouldn't be averse to thinking that the team or whoever reached out to his people, right? His people,
But
quotation mark.
Coca-Cola standing right there in red, big
Bro,
red,
I hear you.
written in white.
I hear you. It's a paid
Right.
partnership with Nasty C, not with 25 and Flame. Da, da. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be mad or I would be misguided to think that Nasty or his team reached out to his
Super
people.
misguided.
I'm happy with that. I'm very happy to be
I
misguided
think it was a
and
dope
to be
move
corrected.
because it got people really talking, and it did the job. It did the job.
It did the job.
It's my job to be this person, by the way.
I'm not mad at it. I love you so
Yeah.
much. I can't even be mad at you.
Yeah.
I can't even be mad at you.
Yeah.
It's my job.
It did the damn job. So yeah, I think from what I have picked up, where I only spend my time, which is like
Twitter.
this
Or
is what I
X.
didn't be
Twitter
seeing.
niggas.
So
That's
yo,
X for y'all. That's X
Oh,
for
X.
you all.
Oh, yeah, X now. Never.
shout out to X.
Is that what we call it? Is it
It's
Twitter
X.
X or is it
No,
It's
it's
X?
just
X.
X. Shout out to
X.
Kid X. Yo, bro, you. I'm just that's X.
So when you're tweeting, you're doing what? You Xing?
You're Xing. That's so
I'm
weird,
Xing.
bro.
Yo, did you see that X?
Can't be Xing.
Nigga, which X?
Like, forget
Yeah.
it.
We off our X's.
Forget
yeah.
it.
So everything
I don't
I
even
brought up
have X's.
was, in the spaces that I'm at, which is the X
I ain't
space.
got no X's. What's that look?
What look?
That look.
I'm just double checking.
What are you double checking?
I'm just looking you.
I'm standing on it. I ain't got no X's.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't starting
I
nothing.
ain't big business.
Mind your business.
What?
Continue. Continue.
All right.
Show me.
Show me.
Okay.
I love that.
Yo.
Nah, no disrespect.
Yeah, yo.
I'm just being facetious.
From my side, so everything I brought up is just like from the spaces that I've been at, from the time I got back into the activities, that's on X.
It's
and
a
it's
chop.
not because that's all I'm focused on, but this is just like what had sparked
came at you.
the conversations in the culture. I'm pretty sure there were other cool stuff. I do know Nasty C is coming up with merch.
Fire.
There is. I wanna shout out to Clint. I did mention him.
Yeah.
Dress Up Fridays.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fire.
he's running the merch game as well on his ends.
Fire shit. He gave me some shit.
DUF. I just wanna. He gave you some.
Yeah, he gave me the
Actually,
fire.
you actually rocked that at the Questa thing, right?
Yeah.
Questa show. Yeah,
Yeah, had me looking good out there.
fire, dog.
Talk
Looking
that
fire.
shit.
So
Come
shout
on
out
now.
to Clint on the merch side. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out regarding the merch, but like, do that. She spoke about products, and this is what we need to see.
Yeah.
Monetize your brands, ladies and gentlemen. Tyson Sabatelli gave out 22 CDs. When else did you hear that? Hard copies.
Fire.
He was performing at Rosebank yesterday, and he actually made 22 CDs, some exclusive stuff, and he handed
I
them
know
out.
an artist who does that. He puts his
Still?
music on USBs. No, he puts it on USBs
Oh,
and gives it
yeah.
to people.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
That's
out to
amazing.
Effie too for the Godspeed.
Ooh, looking fine.
Come on now.
I won't lie. The
Looking
drip
too
is
clean.
dripping.
This is doing big business. Shake game is the verdict. I know I didn't say that when we got in here.
Okay, shout out
Are
to
we done?
iNatura for the
We're
kimono
out
day.
now.
on my ends, I think I just had a great time.
Culture chops are not
Culture
2
chop is
3
done.
hours.
Yo, yeah, are we done?
Thank you so much, my lady, for
Thank you
coming.
so much
She
for
was like-
having me.
She was one of the
This was so fun.
energy was
I'm
great.
so proud of you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you, my angel. Good to meet you.
Yeah, this is like
Properly.
Yeah,
third
without a suit and no beard.
No
Without the
beard.
suit,
Without a suit and
you
no
know,
beard.
shaving there, points,
Ah,
kick,
man.
kicking balls.
Life is full circle, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Life is very full circle.
circle.
So this is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
And that's
you so
how we
much.
close it off on the Culture
the
Chop.
Lord of the-
LOTV, Chopping It with Bhuda T. I am.
Yeah, Lord.
Bye, everybody. How long was that? You
Yo.
guys, that went on forever.
How long was that? Was it like 2? Almost 2?
Choppin'.
But at least.
I was about to say an hour 30.
But that's not bad, bro.